today?
Fine, I'm okay. I'm trying to manage with everything what's going on in our country. I'm Alexander Padalka from Ukraine, founder of the human rights group Justice and entrepreneur. Also, I'm founder of the Exhuman channel on YouTube. Before active stage of the war, I conducted interviews on my channel, and my personal mission was help scientists and other people who are working on the lifespan extension technologies, high quality of life, and health. Gary, let me explain that when started war, everything is different. But personally, for me, war started in the year 2014 because my hometown is Donetsk city, and this city was occupied by a Russian fascist army in this year 2014 after the annexation of Crimea Peninsula. Unfortunately, world mass media reported about so-called pro-Russian separatists on the East Ukraine. It was their mistake because we don't have pro-Russian separatists. It were Russian Special Operation Forces. They called themselves Green Men. The special forces did almost the same crimes as you see now on TV or internet. They also used women and children as a child, and like the Führer Putin said to them, he said it openly on their TV, we will stand behind the backs of Ukrainian women and children, and may Ukrainian soldiers try to shoot. So as for me, my personal war started much more early than 1 week ago.
And you grew up in Donetsk, that's your hometown?
Yeah, it was my hometown until 2014.
Did you leave? Did you leave because of the occupation in 2014?
Yeah, I must to left this place because you know any Ukrainian law and any international law since this year already don't work in Donetsk and in any occupation territory by Russia.
Okay. So when you left your home, were there a lot of people leaving, a lot of Ukrainians leaving Donetsk at that time because of the Russian occupiers?
Yeah, over 1 million. Over 1 million.
Okay.
But it's not only from Donetsk. Before occupation, population of Donetsk city was roughly 1 million people, but they occupied other small towns and cities in this region. That's why left this region more than 1 million people.
How did you feel when you had to leave your home?
It's difficult to describe. You know, when you even don't think about this, I had almost everything. I had a well-paid job. I had my house. I I had everything, and one day you just lose everything.
It's hard to imagine that in one day, everything you thought of what was a normal life was just gone.
Let me tell you, and this city, Donetsk city, before occupation, prefer to celebrate birthday of city, let's say, prefer to visit Rihanna, Beyonce. They love to sing their songs here as well. To took part in celebration of the day of the city.
Okay. So it was a vibrant city.
But after occupation, everything changed, and now this under occupation in Donetsk city live no more than 300,000 people. No, it's difficult to count now because they sent in this town lots of their troops, and they live in apartments and houses of people who left this city. So we think, we consider it's roughly 60 or 70,000.
Wow. And when people, this is probably getting way off to the point, but when people leave their homes and then the Russian soldiers move into them, are they being paid for their homes? Are they being paid, or are they just left? People have to abandon their homes and they're just taken over.
Yeah, sure. No, they don't pay. They just took everything what they want. There with guns, with well armed, and you cannot ask them for any payment.
When you grew up in Donetsk, I think you had explained to me before that you have two native languages. You grew up speaking Ukrainian as well as Russian. Is that right? Were
Correct,
you
correct.
ever discriminated against because you were speaking Russian by the Ukrainian government or Ukrainian people?
Never, no. Never.
And here's his message to Putin.
I'm a Russian-speaking person. Please don't protect me.
Yeah.
Because of your protection, I lost my job. I lost my business. I lost my whole house. It's a mistake to consider that we are very close. It's for a long year worked Soviet Union and Russia propaganda that we are closed. If you check something like tables of the languages, what languages, or on how many percent they're similar, we are more close to the Poland, to the Polish people than to Russian people. Our languages, Ukrainian languages, similar on 80%.
I saw a documentary a few days ago on Ukraine, and I learned that it was one of the first democracies in Europe.
Sure, and you know, our constitution, first constitution on the planet, constitution of Philip Orlik. It's yeah, check this information. It was first constitution on the world, and if we talking about history, unfortunately, our Lord create a Moscow city, Yuri Dolgoruki, Yuri, why you created? Another our Lord Vladimir baptized. Another our Lord founded city Vladimirsk. Another our Lord Yaroslav founded Yaroslav city. So unfortunately, Ukrainians founded and created Russia. I'd like to say what's going on in southeast now, in southeast of Ukraine. Unfortunately, now the most difficult situation, and Russian occupation forces go on to advance in this region, and they are already surrounded 5 cities. Unfortunately, I can't connect with some of my members of my family already for several days. They are already on occupation territory, and my cousin, 18 years old student of the law university, now in the territorial defense of Mariupol city. By the way, Mariupol city located 100 kilometers. I know you measure distance in miles. I don't know. 100 kilometers from Donetsk city, and unfortunately, I can't contact with my cousin as well for several days. Mariupol city is under heavy fire now because Russian occupation forces use almost everything what they have. Ballistic missiles, heavy artillery, helicopters, airplanes for airstrikes, combat tanks and ships. But because of powerful resistance of Ukrainian army and Ukrainian volunteers army and average inhabitants of this city, they cannot capture the city, and that's why Russian troops bombing the city. They bombing schools, hospitals, private homes where people hide from their bombs, and that's why they're trying to building by building to turn the city into ash. But I hope my brother and member of my family alive, and everything will be okay, and we'll celebrate our victory.
So you still have, I just want to recap a little bit of what you're saying. You still have family members in that area. And
yeah, not in city Donetsk, in other place, but already under occupation. It happened 1 week ago.
yeah, in areas that have been surrounded by Russian forces in the last week. And
yeah.
your cousin, as far as you know, your cousin who left university to join the military is in that area fighting, but you haven't, you have no update on him. And how do you know that they're bombing buildings like schools and hospitals?
When firstly we get information from our friends, acquaintances, members of families. Secondly, we get information from YouTube, our bloggers, YouTube bloggers who are in respect for us, and official Ukrainian channels, mass media.
So through social media, you're getting live updates as to what's going on in those areas. So as far as now, at least they still have electricity or internet access to some extent.
Now I have, but it's not 3 years. 3 days ago, I didn't have for several days. Let's say people, we have to unite it together to destroy this evil. It's new fascism in our planet. We have to do it as soon as possible because we are Ukrainians. Pay for this. Every day we lose lots of people, soldiers and civilians, and we have to find the way how to destroy it, fascism as soon as possible and move ahead. We have so many work to work together, and Ukrainian people want peace and safety. And my message to whole world is, people, you have to understand the roots of any conflict. You have to remember and never forget your moral values. Business as usual. $20 or euros is always $20. This kind of stuff always leads to tragedies and disaster. Do business and trade and work for only for people, companies, or countries which share values of democracy, have rule of law, human rights, freedom of speech, equal opportunities for everyone. Otherwise, don't make money with bloody dictators, tyranns, bloody regimes, and ideologies. Otherwise, they'll destroy our world. And Kerry, these dictators spend their income streams on weapons like nuclear weapon, chemical weapon, bacteriology weapon, and already AI. So also I'd like to say that for us, for Ukrainians, hard time will be ahead after war as well, because of lots of people already lose their workplaces, their income, and their houses. But I believe we'll win. We'll get our victory, and we will be celebrate all together. Not only Ukrainians. The whole world will celebrate. People in different countries, different nationalities, different races, because this victory will be victory of values, what make us humans. It will be victory of good against evil. It will be victory of progress and love.
Alexander, thank you for your time today, and we wish you safety, we wish you health, and I support you in your vision for moving forward with, I think you said moving forward with unity, humanity, love, and protection. Nice.
Thank you so much, Kerry. Thank you for this opportunities, and thank you for having me. And I hope we meet with you again, and in more in other conditions, and we'll talk about modern law, space law, or something like that.
That would be nice.